It is a picture-perfect Christmas card image from another planet. The European Space Agency's Mars Express has returned an incredible new series of images showing a giant crater on the red planet. It shows the Korolev crater, a 50-mile-wide feature in the northern lowlands of Mars. Just south of a large patch of dune-filled terrain that encircles part of the planet's northern polar cap, known as Olympia Unto, ESA says it is an especially well-preserved example of a Martian crater. It is filled not by snow but ice, with its center hosting a mound of water ice some 1.8 kilometers thick all year round. This dome deposit forms a glacier comprising around 528 cubic miles of non-polar ice on Mars. Smaller amounts of water ice are distributed on and around the crater edge in the form of thin layers of frost. This ever-icy presence is due to a phenomenon known as a cold trap, caused by the crater's floor lying 2 kilometers vertically beneath its rim. The very deepest parts of Korolev crater, those containing ice, act as a natural cold trap. The air moving over the deposit of ice cools down and sinks, creating a layer of cold air that sits directly above the ice itself. Acting as a shield, this layer helps the ice remain stable and stops it from heating up and disappearing. Air is a poor conductor of heat, exacerbating this effect and keeping Korolev crater permanently icy. Taken by the Mars Express high-resolution stereo camera, this view of Korolev crater comprises 5 different strips that have been combined to form a single image, with each strip gathered over a different orbit. The crater is also shown in perspective, context, and topographic views, all of which offer a more complete view of the terrain in and around the crater. The crater is named after chief rocket engineer and spacecraft designer Sergei Korolev, dubbed the father of Soviet space technology. Korolev worked on a number of well-known missions including the Sputnik program, the first artificial satellites ever sent into orbit around the Earth, in 1957 and the years following, the Vostok and Vakshad programs of human space exploration as well as the first interplanetary missions to the Moon, Mars, and Venus. He also worked on a number of rockets that were the precursors to the successful Soyuz launcher, still the workhorses of the Russian space program, and used for both crewed and robotic flights. The region of Mars has also been of interest to other missions, including ESA's ExoMars program, which aims to establish if life ever existed on Mars. The Color and Stereo Surface Imaging System instrument aboard the ExoMars Trace Gas Orbiter, which began operating at Mars on April 28, 2018, also snapped a beautiful view of part of Korolev crater. This was one of the very first images the spacecraft sent back to Earth after arriving at our neighboring planet. CASIS imaged a 40-kilometer-long chunk of the crater's northern rim, neatly showcasing its intriguing shape and structure, and its bright icy deposits. Scientists combined 3 pictures of the Korolev crater taken from an altitude of 400 kilometers on April 15. Lead researcher Nicholas Thomas said Thursday the colors in the resulting image were also adjusted to best resemble those visible to the human eye. The camera used is one of 4 instruments on board the orbiter, which is designed to look for gases such as methane that could indicate biological or geological activity on Mars. Thomas said the camera will allow scientists to inspect areas where gases are found, monitor Mars for signs of change and help scout the planet for future landing sites. The spacecraft arrived in a near-circular 400 kilometers altitude orbit a few weeks ago, ahead of its primary goal to seek out gases that may be linked to active geological or biological activity on Mars. The orbiter's Color and Stereo Surface Imaging System, CASIS, took this stunning image, which features part of an impact crater, during the instrument's test period. The camera was activated on March 20 and was tested for the start of its main mission on April 28. We transmitted new software to the instrument at the start of the test phase and after a couple of minor issues, the instrument is in good health and ready to work, says the camera's principal investigator, Nicholas Thomas from the University of Bern in Switzerland. The image captures a 40 kilometers long segment of Korolev crater located high in the northern hemisphere. The bright material on the rim of the crater is ice. We were really pleased to see how good this picture was given the lighting conditions, says Antoine Pomerol, a member of the CASIS science team working on the calibration of the data. It shows that CASIS can make a major contribution to studies of the carbon dioxide and water cycles on Mars. The image is assembled from 3 images in different colors that were taken almost simultaneously on April 15th. "We aim to fully automate the image production process," says Nick. "Once we achieve this, we can distribute the data quickly to the science community for analysis." The team also plans to make regular public releases. The orbiter's camera is one of 4 instruments on the Trace Gas Orbiter, or TGO, which also hosts 2 spectrometer suites and a neutron detector. The spectrometers began their science mission on April 21 with the spacecraft taking its first sniff of the atmosphere. In reality, the sniffing is the spectrometers looking at how molecules in the atmosphere absorb sunlight. Each has a unique fingerprint that reveals its chemical composition.